need to take that pump out, the live well pump. I'm going to pull that out because I want to put a strainer in there. And then right in front of it, we're going to install the through hull for the washdown pump. And there's some detail, and I'll show you exactly why I'm going to use the specific through hull that I'm going to use. So let's get everything out. Here's how I decided to do this. I'll show you why I have to use this mushroom through hull. And I went and bought the smaller one. I have the XL, but I don't need all that height. So we're going to put this through the boat. We're going to drill a hole this big. I got to go get a hole saw to drill this. Then this will thread down on top. Decided to go with the bronze because it's what's in there, and I don't want to remove what's in there. And I like the Marilon, but I decided to go with the bronze. Then this double male will go in, and if I need any more height, I do have this, which is slightly taller. But one of these will screw in here, and then this will go on, and then this elbow will take the water tube over to the pump. I think that I'm going to have to put the bait well strainer going backwards and the washdown strainer going forward. I think that'll be a nice little package down there, and I'll be able to access both to take them out and clean them. First thing to do is to clean up the wires down there, like I mentioned, and see what kind of access we have. Now, I'll show you why I have to use this style instead of the high-speed pickup. So let's go under the boat and take a look. So if you look up under here, let's see how I can, there we go. That high-speed pickup is, I can't put another high-speed pickup in front of that because then I'm blocking this one, and I don't have enough flat surface to put two high-speed pickups next to each other, and I don't want to go to the other side over here because it's too far away. I don't want to reach all the way in there. I can't grab the seacock all the way over there. I have to shorten this hose because after I put the strainer in on the live well, it's going to be up slightly higher. That's really the first thing to do, is take that pump out and see what kind of clearance we have. There we go. When this comes up higher, see how this is bending? If we just shorten this, it'll take up that slack, and it'll also give me more clearance for the through hole that I'm going to put in. Let me see if I can get you a better angle. So this will go right here. I'll be able to access both. What I should probably do is offset them. That's what I'm going to do. Strainer's going to be here and here. Okay, so I'm going to let that hang there and make sure I like that. All right, this is a little close. So I'm going to bring it out, and I'm going to go right here because just from eyeballing it, I know that I'm going to clear the hole that I already drilled. Under the boat, I'll show you why I did this. I'm a little too close to the strainer basket. I just want a little more distance. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to go under the boat and we're going to drill it the rest of the way. This way I don't get any blowout on either side. See how that first hole would have been okay, but the second hole is better? See, it was right here. It's just too close. So right here is going to be just fine. Whew, that is an awkward angle. I'm going to drill the rest of it from inside.
Everybody loves slow motion. I had to add in a little slow-mo.
Very nice. Plenty of distance from the chime to the hole, and plenty of distance from the high-speed pickup to here. And it's even offset only because it worked out better on the inside. Check this out. Let's see how thick. It's how thick. Almost an inch. Solid fiberglass. It's pretty impressive. You can see my angles slightly angled. So the angle of the hull of the bilge is not exactly the angle outside, you can see, because I went down straight through on both sides. Anyway, here's where I changed my mind, because I could. There you go. You only get one shot at that, really. You can fix it if you screw it up, but it would be unfortunate if I did. This is a little bit of a pain to do by yourself, but I'll show you how I do it, and it works. So you need a chisel or a gigantic screwdriver, something that is big enough. If you look right in here, there's these teeth, and those teeth are designed to give you some grip. So you have to place the chisel just deep enough where you've got the teeth. Then go ahead and grip it with your vice grip. Make sure that it's gripped. Then you're going to take this and cut this to length so it wedges underneath the boat. And then you're going to cut this to length so it holds your vice grip where you want it. And these things don't go on exceptionally tight. I've already pre-measured all this. I'm going to go get my 5200. I'm going to put my 5200 on here. I'm going to get this wedged in there. I'll show you that. But ideally, somebody would help me. But, you know, it's one of those days. Okay. 5200. And we're going to take care to not get it all over my driveway. So I want enough to fill that channel. And then because I have a little bit of clearance, just a little bit, because the hole saw I used is almost exactly the same size. I'm going to just fill this so that it fills some of that hole as I shove it in there. Okay, I made a complete mess of that. I'm going to go get a paper towel, clean this up, and then I have paper towels that I can wipe this as it squeezes out. So, be right back. Alright, because I've learned my lesson doing this before, I'm going to put that under there. I'm going to put that there so I can get my ass on my back. Put that there. Make sure this doesn't roll away. Make sure this doesn't roll away. Make sure you guys can see. And shove this up. Get the 5200 off my hands. Put this in here. And Okay, so that is wedged in there pretty darn good, and it will, it's slightly tilted this way. This little bit of space here, less space here, but that's okay because when I put the nut on the inside and tighten it down, I'll be able to shore it up, and then I think that it'll, the only thing this pipe is doing is holding the wrench really at that point. All right, let's go put the nut on the inside. I just want to carefully go around the perimeter here. And make sure that that gap is full. I think I'm happy with that. Let's get in there. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Very, very nice. If I put this in here, this is the shorter one. Okay, this will go in like this. We'll put this valve on here. And okay, and then this is going to go up here. So I'm going to have to reroute this so that I have a little bit more room, a little more slack. I'll show you this. And then so I don't lose this, I'm going to pull this off. And I'm going to loop this under here. And then we'll put this back on. Hey, what do you, oh wow, thank you. Look, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Videotaping. Look what Ava brought me. She brought me some cinnamon buns. Thank you.
They're homemade.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna have to ask your parents if you can be in my video. But they look so good. I'm gonna try one right now.
The big one's yours.
The big one's mine, the little one's Anne's.
Yep.
Oh, I'll send her a picture. Hold on. Here, you gotta smile. Ready? Smile. See Lacey in the window?
Yeah.
I put a chair there for her. Okay, the big one's mine.
She's like, hi,
All right, I gotta eat one. Oh my goodness. Ooh, they're hot. Mmm.
Thank you.
We made them last night. Bye.
Thank you, Ava. Careful crossing the street.
Okay, snack's over. That was delicious. And I'm going to, I was working on this. Let's get this back here a little bit. Probably would have been easier to pull it off here. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So, okay. Right there, you think? Right there. I could even twist it a little. When I tighten it, I can twist it a little to make it lay flat. Look at that. That is fantastic. And then I can put a zip tie here to just keep it, keep it from moving around. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put the hose here to see if I want this to, I'm actually pretty sure I'm going to want this to go around here and onto here, like that. All right, that worked perfectly. Now that I'm standing out here looking at this pump, see how high it is? Problem is it has to be below the water line, and my guess is, well, we know the water line's below this, but my bet is the water line is somewhere across here. And the last thing I want to do is get out there and have the thing not pick up water when we're sitting still. So I'm going to pull that out and cut the threads off. Yeah, threads are good. It gives you an idea, and that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. The next thing to decide is what side to put this on. Either I'm going to put it over here, or I'm going to put it over here. And my thought is, because this is the business side, reaching in this open area for the hose is probably the best bet. So the nozzle will be right here, and you'll grab it and go forward with it. It just simply goes right there, and all the plumbing is right there. I don't have to loop hose around to this side. Okay. And there is, I just have to watch out for the bilge, but I'll be well below that, and there is nothing there that I need to worry about. Might as well have the 5200 debate. So I put 5200 on these threads. I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the threads for the pipe that comes up through and the valve and all of that. 5200. That's it. That's all you need. And people will say that you'll never get it apart. That's not accurate. I have easily removed 5200 or fittings that have 5200 on them. I start just a hair below the last thing. I only put it on the threads, so it doesn't gob up inside. And that's all there is to it. Put that right on there. You don't get any gunk on the inside. You get a nice bead on the outside that you don't really need. You can take that off if you want, which I'm gonna do if I can find my paper towels. All right, they were right behind that hatch. But anyway, I'm gonna wipe this clean so I don't get it all over the place. And hold this with this and tighten this down. Done. Give it another little wipe. Any of this excess is totally pointless. And that's it. Done.
What I just did there was I took a larger drill bit and spun it backwards quickly just to clear the gel coat from the hole. If you don't do this, you'll get these little spider cracks in the gel coat, and the only way to not accidentally blow through with the larger bit is to spin it backwards. Some 5200 on it. Could easily use silicone, but in my experience, this thing doesn't fail. So I'm just going to put a very light 5200 all the way around. If you're not confident removing 5200, then use silicone. Use a screwdriver. When you use an impact driver and you skip on the screw head, you're transferring metal from the bit to the stainless, and what'll eventually end up happening is you run into this situation where you get rust. Last step is we will go back inside and put the hoses in the right place, cut them to length. If you don't have the hose in, you can put this cap on. Cap is pressure resistant, you know what I mean? It's got a gasket in here. I like this brand, Melnor, M-E-L-N-O-R. It locks. It's one of the things I like about it. And they seem to be very strong. Put this in here, and this will make it so you can just pull the hose off real quick. You do have to put this on with a tool. I found that you can't get it tight enough without the tool. And then this goes right here. This one you don't really need a tool. Just gonna get it on really tight. And then you can you just plug this in, and if you turn it, it locks so it doesn't accidentally come off. I'm not sure the value of this thing. It's very, very soft. I don't think you're getting anything for your money there. But I liked the color of the hose. How you doing? And then on this side, we're going to put another one, locking. And the reason we're going to do on both sides, and you lose some water restriction here. There's no question about it. But we're going to do both sides because I want the spigot, the nozzle, to be able to twist nicely in your hand. So this way, nozzle twists, easily removable. This is just the super fast version of gluing all this up. I had to disassemble everything, and then I used 5200. We've already talked about that. But this is just assembling everything, getting it perfect. One thing to note
when you are adjusting these baskets or the valves, this stuff is not crazy tight. So you can turn it to where you want it. You can even back it down a little bit. And that's what I love about sealing the threads with 5200, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tight. But if you go a little too far in one direction, you can turn it back without worrying about it, because once the 5200 sets up, you're not going to have a problem. Once again, I've completely changed my mind. We're going to mount it on the wall. I ran this hose right around behind the battery and into the filter, and then this one will loop up and around and right over to the inlet, or the outlet rather, right there. The only thing left to do is wire it, and I'm going to tap into that coil of wire right way down there, which is wired up to live well 2 on the dash, and I'll run these wires back here. There'll be quite a bit of bundling as I wire this. So that concludes this video on the washdown pump. It's totally done. And next episode we'll wire the trolling motor battery to the charger. We'll put some wire loom over where the raw wires will pass over a bulkhead. We will coil all the wires for the charge, secure them to the bulkhead. We will under the console figure out where we're going to put the charging port for the 110, and then at the same time we'll install the GPS. So moving right along.